अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों, क्या हाल है आप सबका। उम्मीद करता हूँ खैरियत से होंगे। आज आपकी खिदमत में सेफ्टी ऑफिसर जॉब इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चंस एंड आंसर का पार्ट 3 लेकर हाजिर हुआ हूँ। इससे पहले मैंने 2 पार्ट्स अपलोड कर दिए हैं। आप जाकर वो प्लेलिस्ट में मेरी चेक कर सकते हैं। चूँकि अगर एक ही वीडियो में अपलोड करता तो वीडियो काफ़ी लंबी हो जानी थी, इसलिए मैंने डिफरेंट पार्ट्स बना दिए हैं 60 क्वेश्चंस के। तो चलिए आज का टॉपिक स्टार्ट करते हैं। सबसे पहले हमारे पास यहाँ पे एब्रीवेशंस आ जाते हैं सेफ्टी के रिलेटेड। स्टार्ट, सेफ्टी टास्क एंड रिस्क रिडक्शन टास्क। कोश, कंट्रोल ऑफ सब्सटेंस हैजर्डियस टू हेल्थ। ओशा, ऑक्यूपेशनल सेफ्टी एंड हेल्थ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। CFR, कोड ऑफ फेडरल रेगुलेशन। OSAS, occupational health and safety assessment series। ELCB, earth leakage circuit breaker। GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter। BSI, British Standard Institute। SWL, safe working load। ANSI, American National Standard Institute। LTI, lost time incident or injury। LMI, load movement indicator। MSDS, material safety data sheet। TWA, time weighted average। STEL, short time exposure limit। ERP, emergency response plan। ASTM, American Society for Testing and Material। JSA, job safety analysis। LEL, lower explosive limit। UEL, upper explosive limit। PEL, permissible exposure limit। REL, recommended exposure limit। PSI, pound per square inches। 1 bar is equal to 14.7 psi। STEL, short term exposure limit। WBGT, wet bulb globe temperature। APR, air purifying respirator। ASR, air supplying respirator। SCABA, self contained breathing apparatus। RSO, radiation safety officer। NFPA, National Fire Protection Association। we should when should we inspect scaffold? Scaffolding shall be inspected and tagged after completing erection, also before each work period, or where they are altered, adjusted to rain or heavy winds. Thereafter, the scaffolding shall be examined at least once in every 7 days. What is the angle to fix the ladder? The angle is 75 degree or 1/4. What is lifeline? Lifeline is a component that consists of flexible line that connects to an anchorage at one end and hanged vertically, or that connects to anchorage at both ends to stretch horizontally, and which serves as a method to connect components of all personal fall arrest system to the anchorage. What is emergency evacuation plan? Procedure to provide concise guideline for evacuation in case of some emergencies and to identify the emergencies in advance. This also helps us to plan and to define roles and responsibilities of all building custodian, fire wardens and occupants. What is the importance of toolbox meeting? The workers can be educated about safe working rules and procedures, and their awareness can be improved on some tasks. What is a hydro test? It is the test carried out for leak test for pipes, equipments, etc. by filling water in these equipments and pipes with some pressure, and its joints and connections are checked for any leaks or breakage. What is hypo test? It is the insulation leakage test done for high electrical cables with high voltage merger. What are the safety requirements for doing hot work? Remove all combustible material from the area within 10 meter if possible. Use for blanket to protect immovable combustible materials and also for welding slugs. Cover the area with fire blanket for containments of sparks generated while doing hot work. Provide proper fire extinguisher in sufficient numbers. Appoint a fire watch and with red jacket if necessary. Barricade the area and post proper signages. Use of proper PPEs and damage free. Conduct gas test if presence of combustible gas expected prior to work. What is the emergency evacuation procedure to follow in the event of a gas release? Don't get panic on hearing alarm. Observe the direction of wind flow. Proceed out in the crosswind direction to the plant boundary fence and then proceed upwind. Obey further instruction from emergency response team. Resume work after getting clearance only. What is the benefits of near miss reporting? Near miss reporting to make analysis of the incident in order to avoid reoccurrence, to rectify the cause of those near misses before it turns into accidents, to identify the deficiencies of site safety programs, or performance and can find remedial actions to improve safety performance by reducing LTA accident and near misses. What is an assembly or muster point? The area determined and marked for assemble of people working in the area in case of any emergency is called muster point. What is meant by head counting? On hearing emergency alarm, all people have to assemble in assembly muster point. There, our supervisor will call his workers with attendance sheet and confirm that nobody is trapped in the site. This procedure is called head counting. Its purpose is to ensure all workers are present in the assembly area. They are safely evacuated and identify the person if anybody is trapped and take necessary actions to rescue these trapped workers. Explain me safety precautions for scaffold. Wooden board must not be painted. Cracked wooden boards should not be used. Check for rust in pipes, clamps. Clamps should be fixed and should be in good quality. Board thickness should be 3.4 cms and no bending. The construction must be rigid, properly based. Use of good and sound materials. The wooden bellies had not joints. Vertical poles should not be more than 6 feet. Chain ropes used for the suspension of scaffolding. Never throw any material from height. Use safety harness while working at above 6 feet. Properly ties to be arrangement. Do you know what are the audit elements? OS and H policy, educational training, safety manual, rules, new equipments, safety inspections, machine guarding, material handling, safe operating procedures. What is heat stroke? What are the different stages through which a person undergoes before he gets heat stroke? During hot days, due to dehydration, body temperature increases beyond safe limit because of breakdown of body's heat regulating mechanism. Due to this, the person collapses, and if not taken care of, he can even die. This is called heat stroke. Generally, pulse raises 20 beats per minute for each 1 degree Celsius rise in temperature. Heat cramps, exercising in hot weather can lead to muscle cramps because of brief imbalances in body salt. Heat exhaustion, further losing of fluid and salt can lead to dizziness and weakness. Body temperature may rise up to 102 degree Fahrenheit. Heat stroke. In some cases, extreme heat can upset body's thermostat, causing body temperature rise to 105 degree Fahrenheit or higher. Symptoms are lethargy, confusion, and unconsciousness. Heat stroke can kill. In what circumstances fall protection system has to be used? If person could fall more than 1.8 meter, then a fall protection system should be used. Example, any activity at an elevation more than 1.8 meters such as erection, dismantling or maintenance of scaffolding, pipes, equipments, etc. Do you know what is Factory Act? Factory Act is a social enactment to achieve social reforms and given liberal construction to achieve legislative. Explain how many types of signboard: mandatory, information, fire and explosion, caution, wiring. Explain me what is safety audit, on what three bases does it operate? A safety audit is a workplace screening process that indicates any unsafe working condition and recommend corrective measures. It operates on measurement, analysis and testing. Explain me training or experience. What is more important in safety officer's role? This is a very important question. One without the other is not important enough for many situations, so I would consider both very important. Training is very prerequisite and experience comes with me. They cannot be compared or used interchangeably. Explain role of management in industrial safety. A written safety policy be issued by managements toward men, material and machines. The safety policy should bring out the managements toward men, material, machine. The safety policy should be circulated to top, middle and workers. Management meeting should be in position. Management should arrange for safety inspection once in 3 months and safety audit once in a year to be carried out. What is industrial hygiene? Industrial hygiene is defined as the art and science of presentation and improvement of the health and comfort of the workers. Explain and differentiate between risk assessment and incident investigation. Risk assessment is conducted before an accident or incident has occurred with the aim of avoiding any incident in the first place, while incident investigation is done after an accident has occurred to determine its causes and avoid its repetition in future. Tell me What are the causes of accident of hard tools? Due to wrong way using of tools, due to defective condition of tools, due to failure of using right tools for right job, due to wrong way of carrying tools, due to strong of tools unsafety. Do you know what are the precautions for gas cutting? A fire extinguisher must be available nearby. Fire watch must be available nearby. Remove all combustible from the work area. Use all necessary PPEs. Never put welding gas cylinders inside a confined space. Hoses shall not be laid in pathways. Gas cutting torch should have flashback arresters. Gas test to be done to check for presence of flammable gas inside. Good housekeeping and ventilation necessary in working area. Hose connections should be made properly. Explain safety rules in using compressed air. Only authorized person should use compressed air. The body or clothes should not be cleaned with compressed air. Compressed air hose pipes should not be placed across passageways. Leakage of compressed air should not be tested with hands. While working with tools run by compressed air, safety shoes are to be used. The tools should not be kept on position when not in use. Do you know the precautions for excavation? Excavation areas should be suitably barricaded. Signboards, lights, and flags should be available. Avoid heavy vehicles coming near to the sites. PPE like helmet, safety shoes should be used. Keep the excavated soil at least 5 feet away from the excavated area. Excavated site should be sloped back to an unsafe angle. Hand excavation should be done at the presence of UG pipes or cable places. Cutting shall be done from top to bottom. All narrow trenches 4 feet or more deep shall be supplied at least one ladder. While excavating on the slope whose height is over 10 feet, men should use safety belts. Do you know about accident sequence? A personal injury occur only as the result of an accident. An accident occur only as the result of unsafe action or unsafe mechanical or physical condition or both. Unsafe action or unsafe condition or mechanical or physical condition exists only because of faulting the part of persons. Fault of persons acquire from the environment and the causes of or lack of knowledge or skill or improper attitude. Explain me what are the causes of road accident. Not following defensive driving techniques, not following lane discipline, overtaking on turns or from wrong side, not obey traffic signals, poor road accident, poor road condition or poor maintained vehicle. Explain what are the important points to be observed for fire prevention. Good housekeeping, no smoking, use of fire resistant paint, electrical safety, fire check doors, naked flame safety, separate storage of hazardous chemicals. Tell me what is the worst safety violation you have ever seen. The question is designed to highlight your standard. If your worst violation is something your prospective employer does every day, you may be out of luck. A better idea is to give the most egregious example you can think of, something so bad that it's highly unlikely this company is doing it and on regular basis. Explain me what are the safety precautions for printing. All flammable material should be cleared from the work area. All required protective clothing and equipment must be worn. Cartridge respirators shall always be worn. Adequate ventilation is necessary. Adequate washing facilities must be readily available. Barrier cream should be applied to skin. Do you know storage of gas cylinders? Cylinders should be stored in safe, dry, and well ventilated store. Cylinders should be stored in upright position. The standing cylinders should be secured properly, avoid falling. Flammable gas shall be stored at least 50 feet away from another building. Maybe that's acetylene, highly flammable gas. Oxygen cylinders shall never be stored near a flammable gas. Empty cylinders shall be identified by marking with a chalk and checked for damage before returning to suppliers. Cylinders should not be kept as sports. Tell me what is vehicle or mobile permit. The permit is required for taking any vehicle or mobile equipment having diesel equipment having a diesel petrol operated engine into hazardous area. Tell me some examples of about unsafe conditions. Unguarded machine or equipment, poor lighting, narrow road, improper stacking, oil on floor, unsafe ventilation, unsafe defective construction. Tell us what or belongs to road safety. The speed limits displayed along the road should be strictly. Shortcuts and cutting across the corners should be avoided. Nobody should try to cross the level crossing when drop gates are closed. Signal given blocking the road, stop, look, listen, and proceed should be followed. Tell me, what is inhalation? Entry of harmful material through mouth is called ingestion or inhalation. Do you know what are the parameters determine work at height? Any work that is required to be performed at height of 2 meters or more above ground level is considered as work at height situation. Explain me what is housekeeping. Housekeeping means not only cleanliness but also orderly arrangement of operations, tool, equipment, storage facilities and suppliers. Explain causes of accident in construction. Erection equipment failure, falling of persons from height, electrical shocks, improper lighting, non-stop working by workers, unsafe working methods, collapsing of earth during trench excavation, failure of use of safety equipment, working on a height without safety belt. Tell me how to control the risk. The risk can be controlled by elimination, replace, reduce, control, and PPE compliance. Do you know safety in the use of hand trucks? The truck should be inspected. The axle should be greased well. Safety shoes should be worn by during work by all the operators. The load should be balanced, and the weight of the load should not fall on the axle. The hard cart should not be wider than the width of the hand truck. The hand cart should be pushed and not pulled. The truck should not be placed on pathways. Explain what is cold work permit. Any work which does not involve production of spark, flame, heat or temperature. Explain me about the biggest challenge on your last job. The purpose of this question is to get some insight into your personality and to what type of thing you find difficult. If you describe something that's common occurrence at your prospective employer, you are unlikely to get the job. One good approach is to mention things that are likely to annoy your prospective employer too, like employees who are always trying to circumvent safety procedures. Do you know what is risk? Improbability of the realization of potential for loss or damage or injury. Tell me, what is personal protective equipment? It is an equipment used to protect the person from hazards such as dust, dirt, fumes, sparks, etc. It is the barrier between hazard and person. Explain me what are the roles of government in industrial safety. The government is responsible for protection of workers, consumers from dangers at work, on the road, in the air and in the water, from the air and water pollution, etc. Explain me how to care and maintenance of hand tools. Tools must be kept clean and free from corrosions. Keep metal parts slightly oiled. Remove burrs from edges of tools and heads of chisels. Tools which are not in use must be stored separately. A good worker regularly inspects his tools. Do not use tools without handles. Explain safety rules for oxygen cylinders. Oxygen cylinders should not be kept near combustible materials. Oxygen cylinders should not be handled with grassy hands or gloves. Oxygen cylinders and other combustible gas cylinders should not be stored together. The top cover of cylinder should be kept in position and screwed safely when not in use. Cylinders should not be used as rollers for moving materials. Oxygen must not be used for ventilation in confined spaces. Do you know what is emergency planning? Emergency planning can be defined as control measure. It can control the accident, safeguard people and provide information to media. Tell me who can inspect the plant safety program. Safety officers. Second is by line management personnel, by senior management personnel, first line supervisor, by maintenance engineers, by workers, by safety committee. Tell me some examples about unsafe act. Operating any equipment without properly authority, operating at unsafe speed, failure to use PPE, using hands instead of tools and equipments, unsafe loading or placing or stacking, unsafe position or posture, unsafe working on moving equipments, wearing loose clothes while working on running machine, working at height without safety belt. Explain what are the duties of a factory inspectors. He takes up the license and registration of factories. He also verifies the documents related to factory workers. He suggests suitable and welfare measures. Tell me what would you do if someone called and said there had been a serious accident at our facility? The point of this question is to find out whether you can balance company policy with common sense. So a good answer might go something like, well, one of the first thing I would do is familiarize myself with your procedures ahead of time so I could make sure my response is in alignment. Bearing that, I would find out what type of first response was needed, both to treat the injured and resolve the situation if it was ongoing and get that response started. Do you know what is near miss? Share a near miss experience and what you learned from it. Near miss is a situation where an accident could happen but did not. This indicates leaks in security arrangement. Last year during a renovation project, someone placed a heavy tiles on the very first floor, just where the floor was not strong enough to carry their weight. The floor gave me in and a couple of tiles fell down. No one was hurt, but I learned I always place safety tags on weak parts of structure being renovated. Do you know what are the duties of supervisor? He has to instruct his workers about the work method and procedures. He has to maintain discipline among the workers. He has to supply the necessary materials. He has to guide his workers in doing a job in the correct and safe way. He has control quality and cost of the job. He has to supply suitable personal protective equipment to his workers. He should conduct periodical safety meetings. He should conduct safety inspection of his working area. He should know about the firefighting equipments. He should know how to investigate the accident and find out the cause of accident. Tell me what are the advantages of good housekeeping. It helps in the reduction of accidents, including fire accidents. It saves the property damages. It improves employees' morale. Better productivity, working area becomes presentable. Human energy is conserved. Visitors are much satisfied. The burden of supervisor is reduced. Explain me how to erect a scaffold. It should be erected on levels, firm ground. Erected by trained and skilled person. It is constructed using metal pieces, metal pipe, and wooden boards. It should be designed and constructed from good and sound material, not to be erected on loose earth. Clamps should be fixed, properly bracing, sole plates is necessary, the base of vertical pipe. Explain what is toolbox. Job related safety aspects, job related hazard and risk, control, preventive measures, adequacy of PPE's condition, following safety rules and procedures, safe working procedure method. These all points you will discuss during your toolbox talk with your team.